Good morning everybody, this is Stephen Pugh of the Home Bible College and it's May the 1st and we're looking at John chapter 15. This is a passage that's much misunderstood by the Christian world. It's automatically assumed that this is talking about Christianity and Christians, and my contention would be that that's not the case. I think we have a passage here where the Lord Jesus is giving very specific teaching for the benefit of the disciples of the Lord Jesus. He uses the old-fashioned analogy of the vine. If we go through the Old Testament, we'll see that there's a number of scriptures which indicate that God often refers to himself in his relationship to Israel as the vine dresser or as the husbandman, and that Israel are the vine. In fact, in Isaiah we are told very clearly that Israel is the vine. I think the Lord Jesus is using just the same analogy here, and he says, I am the true vine and my Father is the husbandman. Now, the thing that we must understand is that the Lord Jesus is speaking to the 12 apostles. In fact, there's 11 now, Judas has left, but he's speaking to the 12 apostles under the conditions of the old covenant. He says, every branch in me that does not bear fruit he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. And this is very, very, very clearly referring to Israel in their relationship with the Lord. The Lord doesn't purge the church, and he doesn't take off the branches that are unfruitful and put them on the fire. That's not something consistent for the church. If we read on down, he says, abide in me and I in you, as a branch cannot bear fruit of itself except it abide in the vine. And he that abideth in me and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit, and without me you can do nothing. If you abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. Now this could never be said of any Christian whatsoever. Christians are never taken away and thrown into the fire. That is just something that doesn't occur at all. And then verse 8 pretty well clinches it. He says, herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit. So shall ye be my disciples. Being a disciple is something that is conditional on being fruit bearing. So what is the fruit bearing that Christ is talking about? Well, in the next verse he says it, as my Father hath loved me, so have I loved you, continue in my love. So fruit bearing is continuing in the love of the Lord Jesus. The disciples were to love him, and they will continue to love him. And then he says, if you keep my commandments, then you will abide in my love, even as I kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. So quite clearly the Lord Jesus is talking to the disciples. He's talking about their relationship to him. They are to love him, and they are to abide in him, and they are to keep the commandments. Of course, this is referring to Israel under the old law, not Christians under grace. So God bless you. Have a wonderful day, and look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Bye for now.